Welcome everyone to Midwest Tree ID. On this channel, it is my mission to help you learn an abundance of trees that grow right here in the Midwest, and some key features on how to identify them. There's just one thing to clarify before we begin. We're not going to be throwing hatred or ridiculing any of the species that we're going to be talking about. But we do, however, want to encourage thoughtful conversation in the comments about personal experiences and things like that. Please try to remember that everything has value and that we are here to enjoy nature and everything it has to offer. So without anything else, let's jump right in. Hello everyone, thanks for joining me. Today we are at Miller Park in Bloomington, Illinois, and we are talking about Abies concolor, the concolor fir. Now the concolor fir has become one of the more common firs planted across the landscapes in the Midwest, and much of that is due to the decline of the Colorado blue spruce. And much like the Colorado blue spruce, the concolor fir is going to have the silvery bluish colored needles that are going to be about 1 inch to 1.5 inches long, and most of these needles are going to run along the sides and the tops of the branches and are going to kind of curl inwards towards the center of the branch. And if you can see it, I'll do a close-up later, but the branches themselves, unlike the Colorado blue spruce, is going to be gray with little bits of green and maybe even some silver color in there as well. Now these particular firs are not producing cones right now, obviously, because it is still February. But when the firs produce cones, unlike the spruces and pines, the cones are going to stand straight up, kind of like a candlestick, as opposed to the pines and spruces where they hang down off the ends of the branches. And also, unlike the spruces and pines, the concolor fir and other firs, the cones are going to basically disintegrate and fall apart as the seed disperses, as to where the spruces and pines, the cones themselves actually open up and disperse the seed, and then the pine cone itself falls off later. So let's go ahead and take a look at some closer ups of the branches and the bark, and we'll continue. So again, as you can see here, the color of the branches themselves on the firs are going to be grayish, maybe a little bit of silver, and even a dull green as well. And the bark of the main trunk is going to pretty much be a solid brownish gray, and with very, very narrow fissures, not really quite as flaky as on the spruces. And there's not really as much noticeable sap running down as what you might see on pines and spruces as well. And much like other pines and spruces, the concolor fir is going to have that narrow pyramidal shape, typically reaching about 50-60 feet in height and about 10 to 15 feet wide at the base. One of the other reasons concolor fir has been making progress throughout the landscape is because you can squeeze the needles without feeling like you're getting impaled, as opposed to when you're trying to handle Colorado blue spruce. Concolor fir is native to parts of the US, primarily the western part, typically the Colorado area, down through New Mexico and areas like that. Thank you for joining me today, and we will see you guys next time.